treatments?
Yes.
Water. Okay. So as water used for industrial purpose, such as for the steam generation, so it should be sufficiently pure before feeding that particular water to the boiler for steam generation. So it should therefore be freed from any hardness producing salts before put to use. This process of removing hardness producing salts from the water is known as softening of water. Okay, so the process of removal of these hardness producing substances like inorganic contaminants like heavy metal ions, calcium, magnesium, all from hard water by any technique is refers to as softening of water. In that, there are two treatments, internal and external. If the water is fed into the boiler, then we are going to treat, then it is internal treatment. If you are removing or that particular hardness causing substance out of that boiler or before feeding that water into the boiler, then they are external treatment processes. So in industry, main three methods employed for softening of the water, and these are here on your screen. First one, lime soda method. Second one, zeolite method. And third one, ion exchange method. Okay. So one by one we will discuss. As the lime and soda method is actually with the help of some chemicals, we try to resolve that particular hardness from the water. And zeolite process and ion exchange process are actually the demineralization process, where we, with the help of a particular type of that pads or that filters, we're able to demineralize the water or resolve that particular hardness which is there in the water. Okay, so first let us discuss lime soda process first. So in this method, the soluble calcium and magnesium salts in water are chemically converted into insoluble compounds by adding calculated amount of the lime and soda. And what is lime? Lime is calcium hydroxide. And what is soda? Soda is sodium carbonate. Okay, so the principle of the lime and soda process is, as you know, that hardness producing salts or the impurities are dissolved kind of the impurity. Okay, so you cannot observe that particular impurity by simply seeing that water. Okay, or you can say with the help of your eyes only, you cannot detect that particular water is hard or soft, because they are totally dissolved kind of that impurity. So somehow, if you can able to convert that soluble substance into insoluble precipitates, then you can easily remove these precipitates by any sedimentation, filtration, or any blow down operation. Got it? So this is the actually basic principle of lime and soda process. So it involves the addition of calculated amount of lime and soda. So that calculated amount is actually very much required, because if you add some excess amount of the lime and soda in that during that process, that may also have some another kind of that trouble to your boiler. They may cause a certain new kind of that troubles. So a calculated amount or the calculated quantity of these salts or these substances must be added. Okay, so before adding that amount, you have to calculate. You have to find out the exact quantity by some calculation. So we will discuss that particular, how to calculate that particular amount depending on that various kind of the hardness is present in your water sample. After understanding that principle, so hardness causing impurities react with these chemical forming precipitates of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. Now these calcium hydroxide and the calcium carbonates and all the hydroxides of rest of the ions are having their tendency to be in the precipitate form. So these precipitates are then filtered off to obtain soft water. So here we are having hard water. If lime and soda is being added in that hard water, so you will able to get calcium carbonate or hydroxides of rest of that heavy metal ions if present in that particular hot water by having the reaction. So after that chemical reaction happen, you will get all these metals will be converted into the form some kind of the precipitates. And these are carbonates of the calcium and hydroxides of magnesium, ferrous, and aluminium. Okay. One more thing here, that these precipitate forms are very fine. They do not settle easily. You having some difficulty in the filtration because of that fine structure. So therefore, there is a need to add some kind of the coagulants. Okay. So they will actually add on that fine surface, precipitate surface, and give them a bulk, a weight, so that now they can be settled quickly at bottom, and you can easily filter out these precipitates now. Okay. These coagulants are alum, ferrous sulfate, and sodium aluminate. Okay. All these kind of the coagulants are being used in various processes during the lime and soda technique. Okay. So alum is potassium sulfate, aluminium sulfate hydrate. Ferrous sulfate is FeSO4. Sodium aluminate is NaAlO2. Okay, so these are different kind of the coagulants which are being used in small quantity to give to fasten the process, because this particular reaction is happening inside the lime and soda is very slow. So to fasten that process of precipitation or sedimentation, we actually added these coagulants. So they help in the quick settling of the precipitates of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. So this is all about the principle of lime and soda process. Okay. So now before coming on that calculation of the quantity of the lime and soda used for that particular softening process, there are few important points. Okay, first one, there is no consideration of the substances which are not causing any hardness, like sodium chloride, potassium chloride, sodium sulfate, silica, ferric oxides. As you know, all these are actually either lightweight elements or oxides of some metals. Okay, so they are not causing any type of the hardness, and they are not consuming. They will not go to consume any type of the lime and soda. So they will not consume the lime and soda. They are not having any reaction with the lime and soda. So for calculating lime and soda requirement, they do not impart any contribution. So if these particular salts concentration are given in numerical and is being asked to calculate the requirement of the lime and soda, so you should not consider these particular substance value in the requirement. Okay. So, or you can say some additional information may be given in the numerical. So आप इसको जब calculate करेंगे, उसको आपने add नहीं करना है, because they are not imparting any type of the hardness and they are not going to consume the lime and soda. Okay, they will be like this in that particular lime and soda process during the softening process. They are not having any chemical reaction inside that. Okay, second one, equivalent weight as sodium aluminate is equal to its molar mass. Okay, when the impurities are given, and what is that aluminum, sodium aluminate is there? Why that sodium aluminate we are coagulant? We added it as a coagulant. Okay, when the impurities are given as carbonates like calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate, they should be considered due to bicarbonates of the calcium and the magnesium. Okay, means like as if they are causing temporary kind of the hardness. Okay, if carbonates are given, then you have to consider these as they are causing temporary hardness. And fourth one, when the impurities are presented in the form of the ions like calcium 2 positive and magnesium 2 positive ion, and no anions are mentioned in that particular salt or impurity, then you have to consider as a permanent hardness. I already, I think, gave that particular instruction in the last lecture also. If ions are given as an impurity or these concentrations are given in the form of the ions, then they are actually considered as a permanent hardness causing ions. Okay, so the fifth one, if there are hydroxide and carbonate ions present in the treated water, it indicates that excess of the lime and soda is being used in the treatment. Means you use the lime and soda for the lime soda process, softening process. So if hydroxide and carbonate ions are given, so it implies or it indicates that maybe you have used that lime and soda in excess. That's why you are getting these particular ions in that water. Okay, so hence these excess amount should be added to the calculation. And all the concentrations which are being there in that water in the form of any type of the hardness or any type of the coagulant or any type of the substances or chemical species, before calculating or before adding these values for calculation of the requirement of the lime and soda, you have to convert these values in terms of the calcium carbonate equivalent. Okay, so all are these a few important points. Now let's try to understand that particular lime and soda process with the help of few chemical equations or and yes. Yes, beta, your voice is not clear.
Point number 2, feed and repeat and point number 2.
Yes, point number 2 is equivalent weight of sodium aluminate is equal to its molar mass. What is in it? Means if you have to take the equivalent weight of sodium aluminate, then it is equal to its molar mass. इसमें क्या है? What is the equivalent weight? Huh? Actually, I'm not getting it. Your voice is actually breaking badly. I'm not getting it. Is my voice is clear? Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
What is asking? What he is asking? Yes. I'm not getting it actually.
Ma'am, continue, ma'am.
Okay. So where we were? Okay, we were on the chemical equations involved in this process of lime and soda. Okay, so before coming on that calculation part of the lime and soda and how to solve that particular requirement or how to get that requirement, depending on the values given in that different hardness causing substances in that numerical. So it will be better to get that all the idea of the chemistry first, that what type of that chemical reactions are involved there if certain kind of the species or that hardness causing substances are there in that lime and soda process. So first, if calcium by or on that slide, in first row constituents are given, in the middle row chemical reactions are there, and in the last row requirements of lime and soda are given. L is actually denoting the lime and S is denoting that soda. Okay, requirement of soda. How much mole of that lime and soda are being required for this particular process or that particular chemical reaction, referring that particular substance. So if your water sample is having calcium bicarbonate type of the substance or temporary calcium hardness, and you are adding lime and soda, then that calcium bicarbonate is in the state of soluble state. It is in the soluble state. It is a soluble kind of the impurity. It will consume 1 mole of calcium hydroxide and will convert that soluble kind of that impurity into the precipitate corresponding to that calcium carbonate, or you can say that calcium is actually converting in calcium carbonate, calcium bicarbonate, with the help of, after consuming 1 mole of calcium hydroxide, okay, or 1 mole of lime. Now, by watching that particular chemical equation, you can say you are able to convert a soluble substance into its insoluble precipitates. Now, you can easily precipitate out these calcium carbonate precipitates which are formed in that reaction, and ultimately that particular softening process is actually being carried, and you will get the soft water after that particular process. If that calcium bicarbonate type of the substances are there, so calcium bicarbonate type of the substance will consume or require 1L. Okay, so that's why in the requirement column that 1L is mentioned there. Now coming on that magnesium hydroxide, if magnesium bicarbonate type of impurity, or you can say temporary magnesium hardness is there in the water, then it will require 2 mole of lime to convert that soluble substance of magnesium bicarbonate into calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide precipitates. Okay, so during that chemical reaction, or if that magnesium bicarbonate type of that constituents are given in the numerical, so there is a requirement of 2L or 2 lime. Okay, so that particular substance will require 2 lime or 2 mole of the lime for the softening method. Okay, now coming on that permanent hardness, if calcium 2 positive ion, means either that calcium 2 positive in the form of calcium chloride or calcium sulfate. Okay, if calcium chloride type of the permanent hardness is there in the sample and its value is given in the numerical, then that calcium chloride will consume first 1 soda Na2CO3 and will convert that hardness into calcium carbonate precipitates, and 1 NaCl will form. 2 mole of NaCl will form. NaCl, as you know, they are not imparting any type of the hardness, and they will not be cause any type of the trouble to our boiler. So now your water is freed from any type of the hardness. Okay, so in this process, when calcium permanent type of the hardness is there, so it will require 1 soda. Okay, or that's why that 1S is written in that requirement column. Now coming on that magnesium permanent hardness, if magnesium chloride type of that hardness is there, or suppose magnesium sulfate type of the hardness is there, so magnesium sulfate will require or will consume 1 mole of calcium hydroxide, and you will get magnesium hydroxide precipitate and calcium sulfate or calcium chloride if that magnesium chloride is there. Okay, so you will get the corresponding anion. Okay, so calcium chloride or sulfate will form. Magnesium hydroxide will be in the form of that precipitate that will be sediment at that particular water. It will be in the form of the sludges, and you can blow out these particular precipitate out of your process, or your water is free from that particular magnesium salt or magnesium type of the permanent hardness. Now, what about that calcium chloride is being produced in this process? If calcium chloride or calcium sulfate is there after that chemical reaction, so they are actually the cause for the permanent hardness. Is it so? So that calcium chloride or calcium sulfate formed in this process or during that chemical reaction will again react with 1 mole of soda and will give the calcium carbonate and sodium chloride. Then only your hardness due to permanent magnesium can be resolved out. Okay, so in this process as a whole, you can see if magnesium chloride or magnesium sulfate type of the hardness or substances are there, then these particular substances will require 1 mole of L and 1 mole of S. So requirement will be L plus S. So here both type of that substances will be used for that softening process. Got it? So these are all the requirements where the different type of that hardness is actually consuming how much many moles of that lime and soda. So depending on all these, we will actually able to calculate the lime and soda requirement how much particular type amount or the quantity of the lime and soda is required for that particular softening process. Okay, so these all are the hardnesses causing substances. But if there are some kind of that different constituents of the chemicals present in that water, because the water is also having some different kind of the dissolved gases and some kind of that anions also, so they will also have some chemical reactions. वो भी react तो करेंगे, ऐसा तो नहीं है कि वो react नहीं करेंगे. So let's discuss these constituents which are also present in the water system, that particular water sample. So other species may be like sodium bicarbonate or potassium bicarbonate may be present inside that water sample. So you can say that bicarbonate species, which are actually one of the cause for that alkalinity. So if that particular kind of the species are present, then they may also having the reaction with the lime and soda. At that particular reaction, it will having the reaction with calcium hydroxide or lime, and will give the calcium carbonate precipitate, H2O, and carbonate, and that carbonate may be in the form of sodium carbonate or potassium carbonate. Okay, if suppose this is this bicarbonate ion is in the form of sodium bicarbonate. Okay, and sodium bicarbonate is having the reaction with lime, so you will get calcium carbonate precipitate, H2O, and sodium carbonate. What is the sodium carbonate? Sodium carbonate is soda itself. So particularly during that chemical reaction, when bicarbonate type of the anions are having the reaction with lime, so in this process, that one soda is actually being produced. So for requirement of the lime and soda, one lime is used here and one soda is actually produced here. So you have to subtract that much amount of that soda while you are actually calculating the requirement. Okay, so the total requirement of lime and soda in this process, if bicarbonate type of the species are given in the numerical, then you have to consider that fact one lime is actually used here, is being used, and one soda is being produced in this particular chemical reaction during that particular process. Okay, so now coming on that particular free acids, if certain kind of the free acids are there like HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, so all these acids are having H plus ions. So if that H plus ion are there in water system, so they may also having the reaction with lime and will produce calcium chloride. If that HCl is there, then it will give the calcium chloride. If H2SO4 will be there, then it will give calcium sulfate. If HNO3 is there, then it will give calcium nitrate. Okay, so all these particular type of that calcium chloride or sulfates are causing permanent kind of the calcium hardness. Okay, so again, if calcium chloride is the result in this particular chemical reaction, it will react with one soda, then only you will be able to resolve that produced hardness after that particular reaction of H plus ion with lime. Okay, so during that process, if H plus ion values are given in the numerical, then the requirement for the lime and soda will be 1L and 1S. Okay, so then you have to consider these particular amounts for requirement of the lime as well as for the soda also. Okay, so दोनों में ही आप lime and soda की requirement में H plus values को add करेंगे. Okay, now if carbon dioxide type of dissolved gases present हैं, so if dissolved carbon dioxide and dissolved H2S type of the gases are there in the water, then it will also having the reaction with the lime and will give the precipitates of the calcium carbonate and H2O. So in this particular step, the requirement of the lime and soda will be as one lime only. So during that lime and soda process, you have added some kind of the coagulants. If these coagulants are present inside that water sample, they may also having some kind of the reactions with the lime and soda. So let's discuss first aluminium sulfate. So aluminium sulfate is having the reaction with calcium hydroxide and will give calcium sulfate and aluminium hydroxide. That aluminium hydroxide is having its tendency to be in the precipitate form. So you can filter out these. What about that calcium sulfate formed here? The calcium sulfate is causing permanent kind of the hardness. So again, it will consume stoichiometric amount of that particular sodium carbonate, okay, that soda, and then only that particular formed calcium sulfate will be able to resolve to be soft. You will get calcium carbonate precipitate and sodium sulfate. Now, sodium sulfate is not causing any type of the hardness, and calcium carbonate is in the form of precipitate. So now your water is actually away from any type of hardness or that coagulants as well. Okay. So in this process, that 2 equivalent of the aluminium is equal to the 3 equivalent mole of that calcium ion. So using that concept, that lime and soda requirement will be L plus S in this step. If aluminium sulfate type of coagulants amount is given in the numerical, then it is actually used for both for the requirement of lime as well as for the soda. Okay. So next one, ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate again having the reaction with the lime and give ferrous hydroxide precipitate and calcium sulfate. Again, that calcium sulfate will consume one soda and give calcium carbonate sulfate and sodium sulfate. Okay, so here also the requirement will be L plus S. Now the coagulant about sodium aluminate, that sodium aluminate is actually having the reaction with the water, and it will give aluminium hydroxide precipitate and NaOH. Okay, that NaOH is actually 2 equivalent of NaOH is equal to 1 mole of calcium hydroxide. So that's why if 1 NaOH is being produced here, then there you have to consider that particular amount, that much amount of that lime you have to subtract out from that value. Okay, as in that lime and soda requirement, all the values are in the whole number. There is no space for that fractions. So we are considering that as a 1 lime is being produced here. So you have to subtract that much amount of the lime when you are going to calculate for the lime requirement for that softening process. Okay. जब आप softening process की
Ma'am,
yes.
Ma'am, could you explain this again? NaAlO2.
If NaAlO2 type coagulants are there in the water sample, because you have been used that coagulants for the to fasten the process, then it will react with the water molecule and will give aluminium hydroxide precipitate and NaOH, as the 2 mole of NaOH is equivalent to 1 mole of calcium hydroxide. So that you have to subtract that much amount of the lime when you are going to calculate the amount of the lime and soda. So at that time, you have to consider that fact that as that much amount of the NaOH is being produced during that chemical reaction, so you have to consider that particular equivalence of NaOH and calcium hydroxide. So during that requirement, that 1L is produced here, so that much amount you have to subtract out of your total requirement of the lime and soda. Okay, because lime is being produced in this process.
Ma'am, but why is it like minus L? It is 2 NaOH is a CaOH whole twice, so shouldn't it be minus L by 2?
Because in lime and soda, this is actually, first of all, this is not only the one reaction is happening here. Maybe you are having 2 or 3 or 4 moles of the NaAlO2 that, okay, because of that one of thing. Second, for the calculation of the lime soda, you have to take that amount in that whole number, and because you are going to treat the water in a bulk, maybe 25,000 liter, 30,000 liter, 50,000 liter, na? So to give that whole number, you are actually not using the fraction half L here.
Okay, ma'am, understood.
Okay, to give that whole number to give an ease to our calculation. Okay, so now after getting all that chemistry involved during that process of softening, now you can able to understand that how much amount of the lime is required if certain kind of the substances are given in that water sample, or certain kind of the hardnesses are there. So during that industrial process of the softening in a certain industry, first thing is you must aware about the hardness. Okay, second thing, you must aware about how to calculate the hardness. So till now you are able to first understand the hardness, then different kind of the hardness. Now you can able to calculate the different extents of the hardness and alkalinity as well. So after knowing this, now you can able to understand that how that particular hard water can be treated to become produce that soft water. Okay, so in this we are explaining one of that process is lime soda. So after adding all these substances where lime is used for that softening process, just add all the values and you can calculate the lime required for that softening process. So you can tally that things or these substances which are used there, which are actually used lime for their softening process. Like temporary calcium used 1 lime, you can tally that one lime. In magnesium temporary kind of hardness, there is a requirement of 2L. So just put the values or add all the values for lime requirement. So temporary calcium, there was a requirement of 1L. In temporary magnesium, there is a requirement 2L. That's why we are putting that value 2 into temporary magnesium value. Okay, then plus permanent magnesium used 1L. Then bicarbonate, there was requirement of L minus S. So that's why we are summing that much amount of bicarbonate ions here. Then dissolved kind of the gases CO2 and H2S required 1L. Then any type of the acid which are there, they are having the requirement of 1L plus S. So we are putting the value here, free acids value. And this so with the case with the coagulants like ferrous sulfate, aluminum sulfate, all these used L plus S. So we are having that value L here. And in the case of sodium aluminate, NaOH is being produced, so that much amount of that calcium hydroxide or lime you have to subtract for calculating the requirement. Okay, so after putting all the values here, you will be able to get that requirement of the lime. So you have to convert all the values in terms of the calcium carbonate cost. Okay, so with this lime as well, so if you have to calculate all the values in terms of calcium carbonate equivalent, then you have to calculate the lime requirement in their equivalent form or in terms of the calcium carbonate. No? So that's why we are putting that multiplication factor for converting the lime requirement in terms of calcium carbonate equivalent. You have to multiply the lime requirement by its multiplication factor, as 100 parts by mass of the calcium carbonate are equivalent to 74 parts by mass of calcium hydroxide. Or you can say calcium carbonate is having its equivalent weight 100 and calcium hydroxide is having its mass 74. That's why that multiplication factor of the lime is 100 by 74. So by simply multiplying or converting the lime requirement in terms of calcium carbonate, you are going to multiply it by 100 by 74. Just sending that value on the right hand side, you will get the derivation 74 by 100 into summation of all the values or all the substances which required lime for the softening process. Got it? So this is all about that derivation, from where that particular derivation actually came in the picture. Okay, so same pattern with the same logic, you will actually able to calculate the soda requirement, as the soda is having molecular weight 106. So multiplication factor for the soda will be 100 by 106. And by sending that particular value on the right hand side, it will be 106 upon 100. And just add all the values which are using the soda during the softening process. Like in case of permanent calcium, permanent magnesium, there is a requirement of 1 mole of soda. And in case of bicarbonate, you can tally that table here. In case of bicarbonate ion are there, then there is a requirement of L minus S. That's why you have to subtract that much amount of the soda produced in that particular chemical reaction. Okay, so if that species is given, then you have to subtract that value, and free acid and all the ferrous sulfate and aluminum type of the coagulants are using 1 soda for the softening process. Okay, So this is all about that lime and soda requirement calculation. So these particular derivations are for the lime and soda requirement for if these lime and soda are 100% pure. If lime and soda are impure given in that numerical, then you have to consider that purity factor. If lime and soda is impure and that is given in the statement of the numerical, then you have to consider that purity factor and you have to multiply it by the 100 by the purity given. Like in the numerical, it is given the lime is 80% pure, the soda is 90% pure, and you have to calculate the lime and soda requirement if these particular substances are present in the water sample. Okay, so and one more thing, if volume of the water is also given, then calculate for certain amount of the volume, like 50,000 liter of the water. You have to calculate it for 1,000 liter of the water, because you are going to calculate this for the industrial purpose. So if that much amount of the water is given, then also you have to put that volume of the water for the calculation. Okay, so after considering both the factors, volume of the water and the purity, the derivation will be actually modified like this, and that is on your screen. Got it? And the last modification, or that addition to that particular derivation or calculation of lime and soda, if hydroxide and carbonate ions are given in the numerical. So one important point I already discussed with you, that it implies that hydroxide and the carbonate ions are actually present there because of the excess use of soda and lime during the process. Okay, so just notice that reaction. If calcium hydroxide is there in excess, then it's a dissociation in the form of calcium 2 positive ion and hydroxide ion. So that is maybe the reason that excess of hydroxide ion present in the water sample. So for the calculation of the lime, you have to add hydroxide. Okay, so the that will be actually the modification. You can see it, that hydroxide ions, these hydroxide ions which are given in the numerical, you have to add that hydroxide ion in lime requirement. Okay. Now coming on that second reaction, if sodium carbonate added in that process in excess, then it actually contributes for the both ions production, like hydroxide ion and carbonate. So if the ions hydroxide and carbonate are given, then hydroxide ion is actually being added both in lime and soda requirement, while carbonate ions value is being added in that soda requirement only, because this is actually the cause for both hydroxide as well as carbonate. Or you can say the excess soda, that soda contributes to both OH or hydroxide ion and carbonate ions in treated water, and hence both are to be added to the soda calculation. So you can see in that derivation, both the ions concentration which are given is added for the soda calculation. Okay. So you have to consider these facts for the calculation part. We will put pick one or two numericals based on these lime and soda. So that time you will be but all the things will be more clear to you and how to calculate. Before that, let's discuss a brief idea, or I will give you a brief idea about the working of the lime and soda process. Okay, then we will pick one or two problems. If time will allow us, we will pick more problems or numericals. We will discuss the numericals after that working. So lime and soda process are of two types: cold lime soda process and hot lime soda process. As that name is suggesting, cold lime soda process means you have to add the calculated quantity of lime and soda in hard water or raw water at room temperature. Okay, and hot lime soda process, that amount or that calculated amount of the lime and soda is actually added to the raw water at elevated temperature or high temperature, like 80 to 150 degrees Celsius. Okay, in cold lime soda, as the toll reactions are in the room temperature, so there is a need to fast the process with the help of some coagulants. So there is addition of the coagulants is there, and the residual hardness after cold lime soda process is 50 to 60 ppm. Like that much amount of the hardness causing substances will still be there in that water. Okay, and hot lime soda process, as that particular process is very fast because of the elevated temperature, the residual hardness after hot lime soda process will be less in comparison to the cold lime soda process, and it will be like 15 to 20 or 30 ppm only. Okay, so after this, you are able to see that diagram on your screen, that lime soda process is the working of that cold lime soda process with the help of a diagram. I'm going to explain. So you can see that one tank is there in which that raw water is fed with the help of inlets. So on left hand side, there is an inlet for chemical, and on the right hand side, there is an inlet for the raw water. Okay, the chemicals like lime, soda, and coagulants, and the raw water has been fed in that tank with the help of these inlets, and that tank is fitted with one steerer. On that steerer, paddles are fitted, and they are actually able to give a homogeneous mixing to water and the chemicals, so that all the coagulants, lime, soda, and are having that chemical reaction properly, and the soluble impurities convert into insoluble calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide precipitate form, and these are in the form of sludges, which will be having that sedimentation process, and by time to time after forming that sludges, you can able to flow out or that precipitate filtered out these formed precipitates or sludges out of that tank with the help of that outlet by any blow down operation. Okay, then that soft water is actually flowed out of that tank with the help out of that outlet for soft water, and that filter, there is a filtering media fitted in that tank, so that you can able to avoid any type of the residues or the precipitate flow out of that outlet. Okay, so this is the whole working of the cold lime soda process. This is the hot lime soda process working diagram. So in this, the tank is a little bit modified. The three chambers are there, one conical reaction chamber, then one is the large chamber in that flask, and in addition to that tank, we have fitted that tank with the one additional tank of filters. In that, the tank is actually having three sets of different filters, sand filters you can say. The first layer is fine sand, then coarse sand, and gravel sands. Okay, though as the hot lime soda process is having high temperature working conditions, so we able to maintain the temperature with the help of superheated steam inlet, and there is a raw water inlet with the help of which all the lime and soda inlet is there. We are able to add the raw water and lime and soda, calculated amount and lime and soda with the help of these inlets to the tank. Then as the temperature is high, so the reaction will be very fast. There is no need to any shaft and pedal, and the sludges will form, and sludge outlet is there for their outflow. From there, the water flows into the sand filters box, and you will be able to get soft water out of that outlet. Okay, so this is the whole working for hot lime soda process. Okay, there are a few merits of the lime and soda process and few demerits of the process. So let's discuss first merits. It is very economical. During the softening, the treatment was at higher pH, like more than 7. Hence, it is alkaline media and therefore has less chances of any type of the corrosion. And there is no chances, or you can have less chances of the growth of the bacteria at that particular temperature or higher pH. That growth of the bacteria is very less. And demerits, it requires a careful and skilled supervision. Sludge disposal is problem sometimes, as the hardness, residual hardness is there in the treated water. So sometimes it is not suitable or it is not appropriate for some special kind of the boilers, or the actually some kind of the industry is not appropriate with that 15 ppm hardness. Okay, so depending on the boiler's condition, or the depending on the boiler's requirement, actually we are going to choose different processes. If boiler can resist that 15 ppm hardness, you can feed that water in the boiler. So lime and soda process is very economical. But if the boiler's requirement is different, or you can say is require very soft or demineralized water, then you have to opt certain different kind of the processes, or you can say the demineralization processes like zeolite and ion exchange. Okay, so softened water contains appreciable amount of the soluble salt such as sodium sulfate, cannot be used in high pressure boiler. So for high pressure boilers, there will be need of certain kind of the processes where even sodium sulfate type of the soluble salts you can able to remove. Okay, so we will discuss these processes in our, I think, next class, because today we are not having that much of the time. We can only discuss, I think, 1 or 2 problems or numericals. So quickly I'm picking one problem. So calculate the amount of the lime required for softening 50,000 liters of the water, and that water is containing calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, sodium sulfate, and ferric oxide. All these substances are there in that raw water or hard water, and amounts or values are given. You have to calculate the amount of the lime for 50,000 liters of the water. Okay, so first important point, if carbonates are given, then you have to consider it like temporary hardness. Okay, so calcium carbonate temporary, magnesium carbonate temporary, calcium chloride permanent, magnesium chloride permanent. Then sodium sulfate, as they are light elements, so they will not imparting any type of the hardness. Ferric oxide, again it is in the form of oxide, it will actually not going to consume any type of the lime. It is not having any reaction with the lime and soda. So depending on that fact, now you are able to write that requirement. So first, convert all the values in terms of their calcium carbonate equivalent. So for that, it's better to draw a table and write all the constituents, then their given amount, then convert in their equivalent of calcium carbonate by simply multiplying by its multiplication factor. Maybe in sometimes numerical that molecular weight is not given, so it's better to memorize a few important molecular weights of these compounds like calcium, magnesium, carbon, oxygen, chloride, sulfate, all these. So, but maybe sometimes the molecular weight is given, so you can calculate the multiplication factor. Okay, so after that, the requirement of LNS, by knowing that chemical reactions happened there, you can write that requirement of the lime and soda. If you do not want to write these, you can skip that particular column. Okay, so sodium sulfate and ferric oxide, as they are not imparting hardness, so there is no need to convert that value in terms of calcium carbonate. You can skip that part. Okay, next one. After converting all the values in terms of the calcium carbonate, add all the values where the requirement of the L in the lime requirement. So put the write the derivation first and put all the values, incorporate the values there and do the mathematics. You will able to get the answer. as the amount of that water is given 50,000, so multiply by that amount. Okay, you will get the answer in milligram. Okay, just convert that into the kilogram, and you will be able to calculate the lime required for this particular water sample. Got it? Is it clear to all? How to solve that particular type of the numerical based on lime and soda technique?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, these are very simple, but the thing is, maximum time the students make mistakes. First, they are not actually converting in equivalent of calcium carbonate. Majority of the time, they are simply adding or putting the values in the derivation. So this is actually important part. First, you have to convert all the values in terms of their calcium carbonate equivalent. Okay, then just write that derivation and incorporate all the values and do the mathematics correctly. Okay, second problem or second numerical. Let's read the statement. A sample of water on analysis was found to contain the following in milligram. Now milligram per liter is also 1 ppm. So both are the same thing. The water sample is actually having calcium sulfate, magnesium carbonate, magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride, silica, and NaCl. Okay, so there is no need to give all the things like calcium sulfate, permanent calcium hardness, magnesium carbonate, temporary magnesium hardness, calcium carbonate, temporary calcium hardness, magnesium sulfate, permanent magnesium hardness, magnesium chloride, permanent magnesium hardness, silica, not causing any type of the trouble, or they are not going to consume lime and soda. NaCl, again, not causing any hardness or not having any reaction with the lime and soda. So calculate the amount of the lime and soda required to soften 25,000 liters of the water per day for a year. So in addition, you have to calculate for a year. So if the purity of the lime and soda is 90%, so purity is also given that your lime and soda is impure. It is not for the 100% pure lime and soda. So let's first write the table, incorporate all the values, write all the constituents, then amount, then convert in equivalent of the calcium carbonate first by simply multiplying by their multiplication factor, and write down all the requirements if you want to write. Then add all the values in the lime requirement, as the volume of the water is given 25,000 liters a day for a year. So you have to consider that year in, and for how many days you have to calculate? 365 days, because that year is having that much number of the days. Then purity of the lime is 90%, means the lime in this question is 90% pure only. So when 90 milligram lime is required, 100 milligram of the lime is to be added to the water. Okay, so you have to keep that particular factor of the purity here. So lime required will be having the multiplication of that 100 by 90. Then only you will be calculate the actual lime requirement. Okay. After that, you will get the answer in milligram, convert it into the kilogram, and lime requirement can be calculated. Similarly, soda can be calculated using the same analogy, and the soda requirement will be 20.214 kilogram in this question. Okay. I think time is over. So we will discuss the rest of the processes in our next class. I'm downloading the net attendance. Okay, is there any question, query? or we can conclude the lecture, because maybe you are having the next lecture. No question, no query? Okay, then we will meet in next class. Okay.